What's going on, everybody? My name is Nick, and today I'm going to be sharing with you all my comprehensive guide on how to work out your lower body when you don't have access to equipment. You heard me right. This is a workout that requires no dumbbells, no barbells, no machines, and most importantly, no excuses. The way this workout works is that there are 5 different categories of exercise. For each exercise category, there are multiple exercises listed. Some of them are extremely easy, some of them are extremely difficult. For each category, you're going to pick one exercise to do in this workout. You're going to do the most difficult one that you can do consistently with good form. And you're going to do it between 2 and 4 sets for each movement, whatever feels most comfortable to you. The amount of reps you do is as many as you can while still completing all of your sets. Meaning that if you decided to do 4 sets of a movement, you need to pick a number that's high so that it's very hard to do, but not so high that you wouldn't be able to do it 4 times. The 5 categories of exercise that we're going to be going over today are the anterior chain compound, the posterior chain compound, the glute isolation, the hamstring isolation, and the calf isolation. Now, I just threw a lot of big words at a lot of you, and if you don't understand what any of that means, don't worry, you're not alone. I'm going to be explaining each one in detail as we arrive at it. Starting with the anterior chain compound. Now, a compound exercise is any exercise that involves multiple joints moving across multiple angles. Instead of working one small muscle, it's going to work a large group of muscles. Your anterior chain is just a fancy way of saying the muscles that are in the front of your body. So our first category, the anterior chain compound, is a group of exercises that's going to work out almost your entire lower body, but they're going to emphasize the muscles in the front of your body, specifically your quads. Starting off, we have the squat, which has been termed the king of all exercises. There's not a lot to say about this one, and frankly, if I went over the form for each exercise, then this video would be excruciatingly long. After the squat, we have the paused squat. Now, what I love about the paused squat is that it's very easy to manipulate the intensity. For this exercise, I simply do a squat, but I pause for 5 seconds at the bottom before coming back up. Now, if you want this exercise to be harder or easier, all you have to do is change the amount of time that you stay at the bottom of the movement. For our next exercise, we have the jump squat. Also a pretty self-explanatory one. You're doing a squat, but at the bottom of the movement, you want to explode up with all your power and come up off the ground. Next, we have the paused jump squat, a movement that is basically a combination of the last 2 we've gone over. You squat down, pause at the bottom of the movement, and then explode up with all of your strength. For our next exercise, we have the assisted pistol squat. Now, what makes this exercise different from a lot of the other ones in this category so far is that it is far more quad heavy. In order to do this exercise, you are going to require some assistance. Find 2 chairs, 2 tables, a doorway, whatever you need to guide you on the way to the bottom of this movement. It's just a squat with a very large range of motion, with the caveat that you keep one leg in front of you and fully extended throughout the entire movement. For our final exercise in this category, we have the pistol squat. Just like the assisted pistol squat, only now you're freestanding, so it puts more weight on the joint and requires far more balance. The next category of exercise is the posterior chain compound. Now, it is a compound exercise, so you're going to involve almost your entire lower body. What makes this different, however, is that it emphasizes the posterior chain, which are the muscles in the back of your body, such as the glutes and the hamstrings. For our first exercise, we have the lunge. Another very basic, very foundational movement. The only thing I really have to say about this one and the following movements is to make sure that you get an equal amount of volume and intensity on each leg. The next two exercises are pretty much matched in difficulty and intensity, and frankly, you can choose to do either one once you feel that the lunge is too easy for you. They are the jumping lunge and the Bulgarian split squat, and they each have their pros and cons. The jumping lunge requires far more explosive power than its counterpart, the Bulgarian split squat. However, the Bulgarian split squat emphasizes your hamstrings and glutes a lot more and gives them a deeper stretch. So really, which progression you choose after you do the lunge is a matter of personal choice. I prefer the Bulgarian split squat, but it's completely up to you. For our next category, we have the glute isolation. Now, unlike compound exercises, isolation exercises are exercises that only stress one muscle or one small group of muscles. You only move the weight across one joint in one angle. Starting off, we have the glute bridge. All of the progressions past this point for this category are just going to be variations of the glute bridge. You can make this movement more intense by doing it with one leg, doing it from an elevated surface, or doing it from an elevated surface with only one leg. And that pretty much wraps up our glute isolation. For the next exercise, we have the hamstring isolation. And for this, our exercise of choice is going to be the Superman. In order to do this exercise, you simply lay flat, extend your arms and legs, and lift them off the ground. This exercise can be done for singular paused reps, or for the more advanced among you, timed holds. In my personal opinion, 4 sets of timed holds at 1 minute and 30 seconds each is an absolute killer. For our final exercise, we have the calf isolation. Now, this exercise, now the calves are a very stubborn muscle. Anyone who's tried to grow them will tell you. They bear a lot of weight on a daily basis, and so it requires a lot of volume and intensity in order to shock them into growth. The two exercises we have here are the calf raise and the one-legged calf raise. In my personal experience, it requires a lot of volume to grow. In fact, when I started doing calf raises, I would do 100 on every single leg day. And that's it for this workout. Let me know down in the comments if I missed out on your favorite exercise, or if you found this workout good, bad, whatever. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will talk to you all later.